After all.
People, it doesn't take much to please them.
More you need, and a pen. You need a pen. Yeah, you're good.
Doesn't take much to please them. See, when I go, my kids go to my desk and they'll find all these notebooks and say, not really. It's good to look at. What did the rabbi left point say to me? Take it till you make it.
All right. You're somewhere in the middle?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out which train I'm on.
He's on the train. Okay.
I need 2 fish heads, please.
We'll see you there.
Yeah, you'll be there?
I'm hoping. Maybe. Staying on Habit Park. So we're right around the corner. We'll definitely see you. We're staying. Oh, yeah. Like right around the corner. Alright, that's it. It's like literally like right there. Your town hall.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'll stop.
Love it though.
Yeah.
Shots.
I'm just gonna get out of the way and let her do her thing.
It's not for you.
Yeah.
Finished like the dial box comes up, finish on
Okay.
and then you don't finish. Yeah, it's in the nature. So bring down the opinion. I assume
Hey. Last one of the year. That's it. Okay. Let's get started here. I was looking back over. It's been choppy. I know. I'm sorry. Past few weeks, months. I don't know. Just the way it is. But looking back, last 2 weeks ago, what we were holding. So we finished on page 229. And as I was reading it again a little bit, going through it, I realized it's really Inyana Dioma. I mean, everything about Bitachon is Inyana Dioma, but like when you say Inyana Dioma, it means, this man, the Moed. And I think it would be important, very important, to spend a minute connecting to Rosh Hashanah, from the eyes of Bitachon, as the Bitachon is a sugya that it permeates every single aspect of our lives. And once we understand the Yesodus of Bitachon, and also what it is, where it comes from, as you'll see, then you can slowly draw it into so many areas of life, like the Cholos Vavos does, and we could even add even more. The Cholos Vavos does not speak about Purim, he doesn't speak about Rosh Hashanah, he doesn't speak about Shabbos, although Bitachon is at the forefront of all of these Moedim. It's Sukkot as well, and Yom Kippur, every single Moed, you would easily be able to connect in a very strong way to Bitachon. You wouldn't have to stretch it too much, because Bitachon is one of the Yesodus of everything. It's Emunah Bitachon, and therefore we can really, really connect in a very, very strong, real way to all the Moadim and everything in life, but the Moadim right now, through the eyes of Bitachon, and it could help our avoda coming mitzvah tomorrow night, and the next few days, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So we were talking about the expose that we're still trying to, we're working on over here, which was on page 225. We're not going to go all the way back, but the third response to that person who is demanding a Kadosh Baruch Hu pay him up front for his work. Kadosh Baruch Hu, when you give me the money, then I'll put more effort into my, learning, davening, although it's Hashem, my focus. I'll be calm when you pay me up front. Yeah, I'll do the basic stuff. I'll daven 3 times a day. I'll do a little learning. I'll send my kids to, Jewish education. I'll do the basics. But I'm not going to put my full focus in, my full energy in. I'm not going to do any more because I got a lot of mouths to feed for many years. If you pay me, give it to me up front, then I'll take care of you, a Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's what this person's saying. And we said, right, that's called again the security pledge. Kadosh Baruch Hu, when you give me a security pledge, then I will be able to do for you. Because now I feel secure in the money you gave me, and now I can ease up a little bit on my efforts, and I can do for you. So the third response, the Baal Chavos Avos, the third Musar, the third awakening, he says, I understand if a person would want to take a security pledge, somebody wants to borrow money from you, or someone's doing work, and you want to trust, believe that they will pay you, so therefore you take his watch, you take some collateral, to make sure you get paid. So that would make sense if we were dealing with a person who was trying to borrow money from you that you didn't owe money to also. That you didn't already have outstanding debts. If you have outstanding debts towards your friend, you owe him money, then it would be ridiculous if he then came to you and asked a favor or to borrow money, and you say to him, listen, I'll give you the money, but I need a security pledge to make sure you pay me back. The friend says, you already owe me so much. How dare you even ask for a security pledge? You owe me. I should demand everything from you first. That's what the Baal Chavos is also saying. It says, of course, with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, we owe him infinitely more than he doesn't owe us anything, right? So how could it be that we can make such a demand? It's a crazy thing. A person should be in the mode, I will serve a Kadosh Baruch Hu every hour of the day as much as I can, whether I get what I want or I don't get what I want, whether he provides for me exactly the numbers that I'm like, yeah, he gave me life. He gives me everything that I have. I should just be able to utilize that. That should motivate me to serve him. I shouldn't make any demands. This is what we were talking about. The person has to really allow the recognition of the past and the present right now. The Bari Olam is the one who's truly giving us every single moment. And with that, a person would motivate his avodas Hashem. It would motivate him even more than he's motivated right now. Because as the Chavos Avos said, and this is what we're working on this, that the Shaar habitachon, I've said this many times, but I will continue to say it, is the fourth gate. But there are gates beforehand. And the gates beforehand are discussing and getting a person to understand, and then to the heart, of course, that everything in this world is built, Kadosh Baruch Hu's kindness from him to us. Every single moment of your life, there is no exception to that, is a kindness of a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Every time you breathe in, who gave you that breath? Right? This is Rosh Hashanah's coming. It's the day that we hold that Adam Rishon was born. It's created. And a Kadosh Baruch Hu, as long as a person's alive, in this existence, this physical existence, every breath you take in is because the Kadosh Baruch Hu is blowing it from him into you. That's the emes. Kol neshima v'neshima tahalal ka. The Gemara says that. That's the drasha. Kol neshama tahalal ka. All souls praise Hashem. So the Gemara makes a drasha. What does that mean? All souls praise Hashem. Every minute you're alive, kol neshima v'neshima. Every breath you take, tahalal ka, praise Hashem, because the emes is He gave you that chiyas. And if we can get that into our mind, really again and again thinking about it, not just once in a while, all the time. Our entire tefillah, every single word of our tefillah is based on this. Hakar Hashem, the praise, the book, the hodah. If a person would build himself up in such a way, it would be his life would change. He'd feel honored to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He'd feel a push, an inner push. I have to give back. It's hard for us. Any normal person who's just normal If someone is consistently giving you again and again and money and time and health, you feel at some point like embarrassed to take. You just want to get back to them already. Someone helps you over and over again. You really, really want to give back to them. Right? You have with a Rebbe, sometimes you have with a teacher, sometimes you have with a friend. Someone's always giving to you. Right? It becomes, I'm not going to get into this now, I'll just mention it for those who know, Nama Diksufa, the bread of embarrassment, bread of shame. And therefore there's an automatic urge that we have coming from deep within ourselves, which is from the soul push. I can't keep taking, I have to give. Right? So if we allow into the system that we are receiving every moment. See, when it comes to a friend from the outside, it's very easy to see. He is coming and helping me. He is giving me money. I'm going to speak to him. He's giving me advice. It's very clear. There's me, and then there's nobody else. And then my friend comes into the picture and then helps me. I can see with my physical eyes that there's somebody helping me and I'm receiving. So if we have a little bit of a, normal brain, we take in, and now we feel we have to give back. But when it comes to one of the biggest problems, and this is in Shaar, really Shaar Bechina, and Shaar Avodas Elokim, but when something is so consistent, when you are receiving so much, you often take it for granted. You don't appreciate because it's all the time. Appreciation is like an extra energy. You have to take a moment to appreciate. When something's happening all the time, we lack appreciation. We lack appreciation for our spouses, what they do for us, because it's just all the time. Also because we feel like we do. There's a certain relationship there. When somebody's giving you constantly, you breathe how many times a day? I don't know. Whatever it is, 200,000 times a day. I don't know the number. You don't think about thanking a Kadosh Baruch Hu for breathing. That's it. If someone say to you, hey, listen, you believe that a Kadosh Baruch Hu lets you breathe every single moment? You say, of course I believe. So then why aren't you happy the whole day? You should be ecstatic. You're breathing. The answer is, one of the answers is because it's so common. It's just happening all the time. Unless we stop once in a while to take an appreciation break, we will miss it. I think that's clear. That's part of the human psyche, and we have to break from that. So when it comes to Kadosh Baruch Hu, it's not so easy. It's not so easy to just automatically see from the outside that this person's helping. Just like this person's helping me, and I could see that. Once in a while he's helping me, I see that. But when it comes to somebody who's closer, it's all the time, or Kadosh Baruch Hu, which is mamish every single second, we fail to realize that. And if we fail to realize that, then what happens? I want more. I want something out of the ordinary. For me now to put my effort in, like I'll do the basic stuff. Basic Torah mitzvahs I'll do. That's already like, it's in the business plan, it's already done. I have life, I get it. Subconsciously, I'll serve you, I'll do the basic Torah mitzvahs, I'll keep Shabbos, I'll keep Yom Tov, I'll do the stuff. But once in a while, you hear a shmooze, you push, maybe I should do a little more, maybe I should have a little harder, maybe I should a little more focus, a little more time learning, more tzedakah, whatever it may be. You feel like, okay, then I need something more, I need more resources from the outside that I can bring into my system so I can have an proper output. So it becomes a certain demand on a Kadosh Baruch Hu, but again, that's coming from a place you're not truly recognizing what you've already received and are constantly and continuously receiving. So we're on page 228, and he told a very simple, I guess it's a story or whatever it is. Let's just read it again, 228, just from one day at a time. We'll just read the English until page 229, and then we'll move on from there. He said, there was once a pious man who would proclaim to his fellow people, "People, is it conceivable that the Creator would demand of you today to fulfill the obligations of tomorrow, or that which you were obligated to do afterward in a year or two from now? Could the Creator demand of you now something that is not even shaykh until a few days from now, weeks from now, months from now? You have a full plate ahead of you, full plate of avoda. Could He ask you to do more?" They replied, "How would it be conceivable? That would be demanded from us to fulfill future obligations today. It's not possible. When we don't even know if we will live to reach those days when we will become obligated to fulfill them. Right? That's silly. You're going to demand me to do something that's not even shaykh now? I might not even live till then." However, we can be obligated in a defined amount of service during the present time. That makes sense. While I'm alive in this today, makes sense that I should daven 3 times a day. I should learn and do the stuff that I have to do. That makes sense. And only when we reach the future time will we become obligated in the service of that time. So the pious man said to them, similarly, the Creator, may He be blessed, has guaranteed your present sustenance for the present time. So if you're alive, right this moment, you have what you need, and therefore you could serve Him. And in return, it is incumbent upon you to fulfill a set of service of God. A set service. Right? You have what you need right now, and therefore, who's giving you all that you have? The Creator. And therefore, you have to fulfill certain obligations that you have. Just as He will never demand His service of you before it's time, so too it is fitting that you have shame and refrain from asking for sustenance before its time arrives. Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't demand it of you. Why should you demand it of Him? Why then do I see you asking Him for the sustenance of the years to come when you don't even know if you will live until then? Right? We're always asking for things now that are not now. Now, it doesn't mean a person can't ask. It's not about the asking that's the problem. The problem is the demands, or it's the inner world. You can ask, Kadosh Baruch Hu, listen, I have this chasana in 6 months. It's gonna be a lot of money. I might have it now, I might not, but it's gonna be a heavy, tax on our bank account. So may it be your will that I'm able to make it some extra money maybe, or you take care of it however you see fit. Sounds fine to me. But when a person starts when it coming from a place of worry and stress and anxiety and maybe some demands, and maybe it takes a hit on his avodas Hashem because I have to make extra money, so I can't really daven so well now. So now we're falling into this trap of wanting it right now, and if we don't get it right now, then I'm not able to serve properly. Why then do I see you asking for the sustenance of years to come when you don't even know if you will live until then? Furthermore, you even ask that He give you in advance the sustenance for your future wife and children to be, as the way he put it, who haven't even been born yet. And that's not just children, it could be for the house that you don't have yet, or for whatever it may be. We're working now, and we're demanding almost now. And we don't say these words, but we want enough that we can take care of every single past, any single future debt that we may have or we might need. We want the money right now. Additionally, you don't merely ask for food, but you ask for food as well as for other excess desires for those times that are not yet known to you, the future, even though you are not guaranteed to still be alive during those times. We people, I'm not saying anybody here, but there's a thought, there's an Indian for some people to just pad their bank account. I think that's the Lashon. Just to pad their stats in sports, pad their bank account, just to keep making, put it back. I don't know what I'm going to want then. I want to have enough that I can get whatever I want, whenever I want. But that takes a hit on your avodah right now. And that's what the Chavos Avodah is saying. That's not appropriate. Not only do you not serve Him in lieu of His guarantee to provide for you in the future, you don't even make an accounting with yourself regarding that which you have ignored the service of God during the past days, during which He did not neglect you to provide you fully with your sustenance. We're asking already for futuristic payments now, but have we thought about our service in the past and then now? Have we even kept up to our side of what we're supposed to be doing? Have we put in our max efforts or the proper efforts? Do we think about that? Or do we only think about what we want in the future and what we don't have now? And do we think about what we lack in monetary terms? Or do we ever think about what we lack in spiritual terms? These are the questions that the Chavos Avodah is being ma'orer, that we have to think about. Again, this part of the Sefer is really pushing. The person who takes it seriously is really pushing us to think deeply. The first 3 quarters of the Sefer is all about teaching us what bitachon is, what it could do for you, how it works. But now he's saying, let's put our money where our mouth is. Let's act this way. Let's live this way, and let's find out what's stopping us from doing it. Let's push a little bit. And the person has to be ready. He says, bitachon makes sense. It's true. It's emes. It's the best way, but you got to work hard for it. So I was thinking about this, in lieu of Rosh Hashanah. We come to the beginning of the year now. So everybody has different ways of approaching Rosh Hashanah. Could be some people don't think about it at all, they're too busy. But if a person comes into Rosh Hashanah, you have to think. There's two major ways we can go into Rosh Hashanah. Is Rosh Hashanah about us? Or is Rosh Hashanah about HaKadosh Baruch Hu? There's always a mixture of both, but we should probably make a choice here. Is it about our wants, desires, needs? Listen, there's a whole year. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to judge us. The entire year is going to be set Tuesday morning. The whole year. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is judging us. Our parnasa, health, it's going to be with the family, with the world. This is very serious. So who are we thinking about? Are we thinking about the creations or the Creator? Are we going to come into Rosh Hashanah asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu for all the things we want for the next year? Or are we going to come into Rosh Hashanah thinking about all of the debts that we've accrued this year from Him? Which perspective are we going to be looking at? How much we want for the next year, or how much He's given us from the past year? Each one of these a person could sit on. I would suggest, we're going to go through a little bit more, but you can do whatever you want. Each person can do whatever they want. But I would suggest, if you want to try something new, spend the entire Rosh Hashanah just thinking about the last year of what you received. Don't think about the next year. Don't think about anything that you didn't get last year. Spend the entire Rosh Hashanah just thinking about what you did receive. And then if you look at the word of the tefillah, not every single word is about praising Him. There's very little else. A little bit of judgment. There's the sound of tokef that makes a big rush. Yes, it does. But that's not the point of Rosh Hashanah. Even in slichos, if you look at the words, I didn't bring one upstairs. It's a lot, right in the beginning for sure. But especially the slichos they say here, there's a difference between the Nusach Ashkenaz and the Nusach Sfarad slichos. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this here, but I used to daven Nusach Ashkenaz slichos. Now I'm here, I see how it's very, very, very different. If you look at the words, Baruch Hashem for Art Scroll, because without Art Scroll, we wouldn't have the understanding of the actual slichos. Very hard words, but it's a big change in the motivation and the themes of slichos. The slichos that we say in Nusach Sfarad, it's more chesed, it's more yearning, it's more devekis and ahava. Nusach Ashkenaz is a little bit more, from what I remember, more yira, a lot more about the judge, a lot more about the darkness. The words are harder also, they're even longer. Here the words are a little bit shorter, they're a little bit easier. But the slichos talk about the chasdei Hashem. L'cha Hashem hatzedakah, v'lanu b'oshes hafam. Kadosh Baruch Hu, you're the Baal Tzedakah. By us, we're the ones who are in shame. That we're always demanding and we're not living up to our end. Kadosh Baruch Hu, you're always giving. L'cha Hashem tzedakah. Every single moment is from you. V'lanu b'oshes hafam. We're embarrassed because we're not always keeping up our end of the bargain. And yet, you still give us chiyas. You still give us everything that we have. Even though every single day we have debts that the interest rates, the credit card, the percentages, whatever it is, it's APR. It's pumping, and we're picking up some big debt because once you pass that day, it's very hard to go back. It's very hard to go back and make up yesterday's avoda that you missed today when you have a full plate of avoda in front of you. But maybe we could say about just agav that tshuva has that ability. Could be tshuva is the mitzvah, that one of the chidushim of tshuva is that a person can go back in time and not just ask for forgiveness for the things that he did wrong, but also another aspect of tshuva, which might help open up a person's head, is to admit to the mitzvah aseh that he didn't do as well as he could have. When it comes to tshuva, it doesn't only have to be about sins that a person did. Right? It doesn't have to be. That's a mistake. A large portion of tshuva is that. But just, I guess, when we're speaking about this, for just a minute, people can come in. It's possible. You come into Elul, Yom Rayim, Yom Tshuva is all around. Even though tshuva is a 365-day a year mitzvah, it is not only a 30-day, 40-day mitzvah that we know. I hope But when a person only learns the sugya of tshuva from that narrow perspective of sin, what happens when you have a guy who doesn't feel like he's such a sinner? Lashon hara, yeah, it's true, not the best. Did I make some mistakes? Did I maybe I borrowed something that I shouldn't have, or I took a little bit of a tiny thing here, a tiny thing there. Maybe it would be called the Geneva. Maybe a lot of little things. For the most part, I think most Jews, we try our best. We're pretty good. We're pretty good. Could we be better? Maybe. We're pretty good. So I think naturally it is difficult for a lot of people to get into that mindset of tshuva, like, I'm such a sinner, Gehenim, because we don't feel that way. So it's just hard. Also just downright dark and abysmal. No one wants to go into that place. So for many reasons, we discussed this last year around this time, we don't go into that place. So the whole Indian of tshuva, for speaking real, really gets thrown out of the window. It really does. Yeah, we hear most of schmoozing about it, and in the words of davening there's some tshuva, but Lamaisa, who's sitting and doing tshuva? Just taking 10 minutes. Who's going to take 10 minutes and say, we're mamish, it's Erev Rosh Hashanah. I mean, we're right here. Who today is going to sit for 10 minutes and, Kadosh Baruch Hu, I did this year, I did that. Who's going to sit? We should, but are we? Maybe not. I would say 99.7% of Jews are not. We're busy, whatever. Because we only know one style of tshuva, and that doesn't feel good. But what if we turned it a little bit? We turn tshuva a little bit, maybe happier. How does it happier? Because a person comes to the Kadosh Baruch Hu and says, Kadosh Baruch Hu, I have a whole year of avodah that I'm supposed to do for you. And I know I can be better. I know I can be better. Not from a depressing way. From a way of, I could be better. I could do better. And you go through a few things. Tshuva or not tshuva? I think it's tshuva. I think it's something that everybody would relate to much more. So I think every single Jew, 100% of Jews, okay, maybe 99.97, 99.7% of Jews want to do better. But let's deal with the mitzvah say aspect. Let's deal with the positive mitzvahs that we're already doing. Maybe we can do them better. We can do them with more eiches, quality, or more kamas, more quantity. That's another shmooze. Maybe we should work on eiches before kamas. People get caught in the kamas world. A lot of quantity, which ends up not even being so feasible. Let's work on the quality, So when a person comes into Rosh Hashanah this way, it's a whole ma'apecha. Instead of thinking about, again, what our requests are for the next year, Kadosh Baruch Hu, my life's in your hands, Nisana Tokef, I don't know if I'm going to live, I need a parnasa, I need this, I need all these things. Believe me when I tell you, he knows that already. He knows that already. But what he wants to hear from you, like a good parent, but tell me what I did for you last year, son. Tell me. It's a whole year now. From last Rosh Hashanah, a lot of months, a lot of days, a lot of hours, so many amazing things. Tell me, what did I, the king, do for you this year? Let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Because you know what? If you tell me all about it, I might want to do it again for you, maybe even better. It would change the whole Rosh Hashanah. It would also match from many places. Let's say in this place, I don't know how they daven downstairs, but I'm assuming it's similar to the way upstairs. It's a lot of nigunim, it's a lot of singing, right? If anybody was ever in the yeshiva system, which it's a system, it's beautiful, it's gewalt, it's very, very different. Very, very different. Very serious, it's filled with yira. Beautiful, amazing. I enjoyed it a lot when I was there. But the system here is not that way. Just listen to the davening. It doesn't even make sense. Let's just be real humans here. It doesn't make sense that with all of the nigunim that are upbeat, to try to think about, oh my gosh, I'm not going to live this year. What's going to be with me? I need a parnasa. It doesn't go. Everybody understand what I'm saying? Like you can't have a fight scene in a movie with slow violins. It doesn't go. Right? We have to live, right? There's many layers to life. We have to align ourselves. So the way that it's done over here, And again, everywhere has its ways, and it's beautiful. Every has his mahalach. But we're speaking here, so is that if the nigunim and the way of the Torah here is in an upbeat way, Rosh Hashanah is a big day. It's a way of bitachon. We trust the King. It's going to be a great year. So then our inner world should come from the same place. And then you can buy into the Yontif even more. Then you can prepare for the Yontif even better. Instead of this cognitive dissonance, we're just missing it. You understand what I'm saying? Make sense? And when we, yeah. But the problem is, and we'll go back and forth, is that when a person gets caught up in his wants and desires, right? That's what he's thinking about. Let's say Rosh Hashanah. It's really any time, but let's say Rosh Hashanah. You know, Kadosh Baruch Hu, you're the Kasvin B'Sefer Chaim, the Man Chelakim Chaim. So Chaim life is very simple. It's a very overarching, bakasha that we can have, but usually Chaim turns into a lot of other things. It's a Chaim Shel Parnasa, it's a Chaim Shel Brius. So we want all of these things during the year. So then a person can come to a place of worry. So on Rosh Hashanah, or whenever, right, the wants and the desires of a person that he has, which he thinks are normal, can cause what in his system? It can actually cause a worry, right? A nervousness. Has that ever happened to you before? Probably, right? And then what happens? What's the worry? I might not get it. I need this and I might not get it. So you're coming in to a davening, you're coming to Rosh Hashanah, thinking about what you need, what you want. Now you become nervous because you're not sure if it's going to come. Now we're in a deep place of nervousness. What happens when a person is now we're talking about fear now. What happens when a person comes to a fear? What happens? You become obsessed. When a kid is arachnophobia, scared of spiders? Is that what it is? Arachnophobia? So there was a spider in the room and the kid tried to kill the spider and then it crawled under their bed and now they can't find it. Out of sight, out of mind? I don't think so. It's going to be more in the mind. There is a sugya of out of sight, out of mind. It has to do with taivas and things. It's very, very important. For another time, it comes from the Gemara. But when it comes to a fear, out of sight, not out of mind, very often. It's 2 times in the mind. So you're coming in, you have these wants and the desires, and they're really strong, and you come to even crying about it because of Kadosh Baruch Hu, you're the one who gives me life and gives me parnasa, and I need parnasa this year. Sounds like a legit tefillah. But then that might turn into a certain nervousness. What if I don't get that? And I didn't get as much as I wanted last year. And then it comes into a fear now because I don't know if I'm going to have. We're downloading a lot of darkness into David Hashem Ori V'Yishi. What does Chazal say? Right, we say David Hashem, not Sfaradim, but Ashkenaz and Sfaradim, we say David Hashem Ori 30 days before. Why? Ori is Rosh Hashanah. Yishi, salvation, is Yom Kippur. So Rosh Hashanah is a day of light. People are wearing white. It's supposed to be a happy day. It's a Yom Tif in the Torah. There is nothing sad or scary about Rosh Hashanah. Nothing. It's a Yom Truah, Yom Zikaron. It's a beautiful day. But a person can bring darkness into the day. That's crazy. Why would we want to do that? Why? Because we think that's going to help get us what we want. Person thinks there's a whole shayla. Are you allowed to even ask about kashas on Rosh Hashanah? It's a shayla. Many say no. But there's a whole world and there's big people. I don't know exactly who they are, but there are big people who say you can ask. Imlo achshav emasai. This is the day. Might be true, but if it's going to throw off, you have to be honest. If it's going to throw off your whole day, that's what you're going to become obsessed with. You're not going to daven properly, and you're going to be worried. It's not kedai. It's not kedai. If we were truly bali bitachon at the highest level, and all of our requests came from a place of Kadosh Baruch Hu, you're awesome, you're amazing. Everything you give to me it's been amazing. I'm a human being, and I think these things, it would be nice if you would be able to give me these things this year, but I trust you in everything that you do. It's great. If you'd be able to ask like that, that'd be okay. But if you had that level of bitachon, you don't even need to ask either. 1 day a year. I'm telling you, you don't have to. There's an obligation. I'm giving somebody a different way of going into Rosh Hashanah. And I've challenged people over the years. Every year, I think at some point I say this. I've been doing this for years. I've challenged people, and the people who have done it, they've told me. I'm not saying it's a guarantee. Could be the people who didn't work for it, didn't tell me, but people who it's worked for, it was like a geula on Rosh Hashanah. It's like a geula. Freedom. And who created the jail? We did. Who creates the freedom? We do. So before I go on, is this understood? Again, I'm not telling anybody they have to do this. It's just something different that maybe you didn't think about. So now maybe we'll push even harder. Let's say we hold the Rosh Hashanah as the Yom Hadin, which we do. The Torah doesn't say it, but Chazal definitely mention it a lot, and that's what most people grow up. Let me ask you a question. It's the Yom Hadin. King is there. He's judging everybody for their misdemeanors for the whole year. Let's check this guy. Let's see his parking tickets. Let's see, did he speed? Let's check out his avoda. Did he work hard in serving me? So you come up to the king. And you stand there and he's looking at your record. He's got everything down. They have cameras everywhere. They already bugged your phone. And we're going through all these things. And you say, King, 1 second. Before we continue, guys, can I ask a favor? I just need like $1 million for like the next year. So there's one. Is that okay? King's like, he's looking at those. He just got finished, like you spoke 45 Lashon Haras. He looks up. What'd you say? Is it an appropriate time on Judgment Day to ask for such a thing? Again, there is a sheet that says it's okay. But I don't play devil's advocate. It's not a nice way of saying it. I want to play, the other side. I need a better way to say angel's advocate. Just for some people who want to change the way they enter in Rosh Hashanah, but they're still scared to. There's a pachad. What do you mean? My whole life, this is the day that I ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu for everything. I don't know if I can give that up. So for those people who want to give it up, but they just need a little more, oomph to that, that's what we're talking about. For the people who want to continue asking, by all means, do it, gevald. It's an appropriate mahalach. Right? I try to keep it very politically correct, spiritually correct over here. There are two sides. Today, Rosh Hashanah is the day that Adam Rishon is born. Yeah? That's what we hold Adam Rishon. Hayom Haras Olam, the creation of the world, or Adam. So Adam Rishon wakes up. Like your kids wake up. Daddy, what are we doing today? First thing. No good morning. No, yesterday was amazing. Daddy, what are we doing today? What? We're not going somewhere? We're not doing anything fun? What are you, like my tati at all? Right? Second they wake up. What are we doing today? What are we doing? What am I getting? What's going to be? Can I have a candy? It's 6:30 in the morning. Can I have a candy? Shabbos cereal? It's not Shabbos today. Can I have Shabbos cereal? It's not Shabbos today. The second a person is born, right? We hold it. Rosh Hashanah is the first day of the year. Where, of course, not physically. It's a schadshus. It's an awakening. We're recreating as a new year, new slate. New slate. We're starting fresh. Kadosh Baruch Hu, can I have $1 million? Can I have good health? Can I? Whoa. Let's 1 second. Am I even your God? Am I your king that you're even asking me? Before you start asking, maybe you should take me on as your king. Right? First be mamlich me. Believe me that I'm the one who can give you everything. Take a day or two. And then ask me. Make sense? The Ramban even has such a mashal like this. He's not talking about Rosh Hashanah, but he has a when it comes to Anochi Hashem Elokecha. Anochi Hashem Elokecha, he's the mashal is he says that there was a group of men, whatever word, and they were nomads or something, and they said to this one guy who was very strong, you have to help us. You have to provide for us food. You have to provide for us. You're the strongest. You're the biggest. Help us. So the guy says, first the thing is first. First, make me the leader. Make me the king. And then you can answer me, and then I'll try to take care of you. That's what Anochi Hashem, that's what he's referring to, Anochi Hashem Elokecha. First we have to take upon HaKadosh Baruch Hu as the king. And then we could start dealing with him as a king. So that's what Rosh Hashanah is, no? It's HaMelech. It's not Ani. Go into Rosh Hashanah. Is Rosh Hashanah about HaKadosh Baruch Hu or is it about Adam? That's the question you have to ask yourself. I think the answer is, I think it's obvious. Yeah, Adam is born, but he's born to serve. Is life about HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you need to serve me? Wife, or if you're a woman listening, your husband, spouse, serve me. Children, you shall serve me. Weather, economy, everybody should serve me. Or is it, Hineni, here I am, I want to serve you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I want to serve you, spouse, family. That doesn't mean doormat. Serving others also comes with chinuch. It also comes with the children. But Rosh Hashanah is the day you make this choice. Don't let the day go by without making this choice. Is it a day about HaKadosh Baruch Hu, or is it about me? Is it about the world serving me or me serving it? This is what Rosh Hashanah is about. I think this is what we're supposed to be thinking about. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Any rebuttals? Any comments? Okay. Then we go weiter. So the way that we calm the system, the way that we live the happy way that we want to live, is by truly recognizing what we've accrued positively for the past year. Right? I think it was 2 weeks ago. When a person has all the wants and the needs, they have all the things they want for, and there are bakashas, there is such a thing in Shemona Esrei, but that makes a person feel like he's lacking, and that can turn into a worry, and that can turn into a fear. So how do you calm that system down? Chazal already told us, if you praise the Kadosh Baruch Hu for what he does in the world, and if you thank him for everything that he's done for you, you build up a serious amount of shvach and hodah that will sandwich appropriately the bakashas, and even though you have to ask for things, you trust and you feel at ease that things will be okay. Haraya, look at my praising you, and look at my hodah for all the years that you've already given me, and you're giving me right now, right? So isn't that the best way to go into Rosh Hashanah? Isn't that the best way to start the new year? I think. How about if we praised and thanked even more than we asked? So we'd be above the game. When you ask a lot, so you feel like a lacking, and you need to now neutralize that. You have to balance it out by praising and thanking. But what happens if we just praised and thanked even more than the bakashas? Like 3 times more. They would be 3 times as happy. 3 times as filled up, I think. And then not only that, what would that do? Now you could trust the Kadosh Baruch Hu wholeheartedly. Right? That's the point here. And all the Hakar stuff, all the Hodah, which is Shaar B'chin and Shaar Avodas Elokim, we're in Shaar Bitachon. You can trust the Kadosh Baruch Hu for real, for real. You'll be able to ease yourself because not only do you just talk about a Kadosh Baruch Hu, you're experiencing that he's already taken care of you, me, for many, many years. Because I'm thinking about it. Shvach and Hodah, real. Not just the words in the Siddur. We have to be very careful with that also. A lot of words in the Siddur are Shvach and Hodah. Most of the words in the Siddur are Shvach and Hodah. But if we just say them lips and head, it's not going to help Bitachon. It's not going to help Hakaras HaTov, which is in the heart. Because we could trick ourselves. We could say a lot of words of Shvach and Hodah. We could say 1,000 times Shvach and Hodah words from our head and our mouth. One bakasha from your heart will blow away all those words. When a person feels like he doesn't have what he deserves from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you can't give me the one thing that I'm asking for, that 10 seconds can obliterate 1,000,000 words of Shvach and Hodah that were just said from your mouth and your head. Because the heart is just, it's everything. That's where the authenticity is. That's who you really are. So when we're speaking about Shvach and Hodah, we need to get it to the heart. Has to. I think that's understood. You get that to the heart, That's the point. That's what Shaar. Everything about Chovos Levavos is about the heart. It's called, right? It's Chovos HaLevavos. So to get to the place of bitachon, which is in the heart, you need to get to the Hakaras HaTov and the Hodah that's in the heart. I think that was clear, but I want to make that has to be very, very clear. Maybe we should take 10 minutes. Maybe we should take 10 minutes before. I'll get into that in a second. Maybe we should take 10 minutes today. Let's change it up. No more tshuva for the bad stuff. We'll get back to that. Maybe take 10 minutes today and just thank Kadosh Baruch Hu for the beautiful day, and for your children, and maybe for your spouse, or for money, or for your parents, or for your son. Just take a few minutes. Let's think about it. And even if it's lips and head, and you don't feel it in your heart, that's okay, because it's an avoda to get it down to the heart. Don't just not do it because you don't feel it in the heart.
So we're bringing up Karsa Taif and praising Hashem for all the good things from the past year instead of being forward-looking. What do we do with the difficulties, challenges, and struggles of the past year?
Depends what you refer to, but whatever you're referring to, sometimes, let's not think about it. Sometimes,
Okay, so that's
right? We have to give ourselves and HaKadosh Baruch Hu ourselves in a world where we actually feel filled up and we're just thankful. Just do that. Sometimes we bring that in, like all the time, we bring in and the things that we don't have, and that it just neutralizes our ability to be truly happy, thankful. I got 1,000,000, but I really wanted 1,000,001. But of course, about thanks to the mill. You know, I appreciate it. No, I do, of course, but I really appreciate it. You gave me, I really do appreciate it. You know, but just one more I wanted. But thank you. So, it's Hodah. But it's not the explosive Hodah that's going to last. Because it comes with...
right. So I think typically we would try to apply bitachon to all those situations, right? And to have some sort of ease and menuchas nefesh.
Okay.
And somebody recently said something to me, and I said, even in those, besides your bitachon, and he says, look at that and say, where is the bracha here? Where's the bracha here?
In the lack.
In the lack, in the difficulty.
That's
in the struggle.
bitachon.
Right.
I mean, you could say it in different words, but...
So, are those words really...
Meaning you're saying you have another avoda. So even if we have a feeling of lack that comes in, which does happen, so now we have to then turn it around again.
Right. It's like another... Right.
If you have bitachon, you could do that.
Right. But for me, that was like, I don't know why I call it deeper, or another way of expressing bitachon. Not just that, okay, Hashem, I'm trusting you, and I know everything's good and for the best, and I can have menuchas nefesh, but more than that, it's positive. Where actually is the bracha here? It's
I think we have definitely discussed this. I'm happy to bring it out again. We've definitely discussed this when we talk about bitachon, opening up the mind to see that which you may have missed. When we're very narrow,
experiencing, it's actually physical. It's happened to me, like physically. Like you feel like the walls are coming in.
Right.
And it's like, no, you want to open it up. Like, where's the bracha here?
where's just one nekuda tova.
Yeah.
And that you could do it with bitachon. We've discussed this, expanding the mind, expanding the horizons of yourself when you look for the tov within everything. How to look for the tov? I can't look for the tov because this is bad. This is just not good. If you trust that whatever you're doing is for the best. That's step one. Or it's you. Second of all, I know it's from your best because everything about you is kind and you're the most merciful and you know me better than I. When you get into that state, now you're open enough to say, you know what? Maybe there's something good in this. Maybe you know what? Maybe it's good that I didn't get that thing that I wanted. You know what? Because maybe it would have taken away from my tefillah. Maybe it would have taken. These are big avodas.
To come to Rosh Hashanah with that.
Oh, it's,
That's
yeah.
And then cross it over the struggles.
If everything happens for the best.
If we could do this is a different Rosh Hashanah. Coming happy, not scared. The shofar will be ma'orer you instead of like you're ducking. When's the rock gonna hit me in the head? That's not the tachlis of Rosh Hashanah. I don't know what happened to us. We have to change this around. Yeah.
Well,
Inner goals.
If we're not doing tshuva during Rosh Hashanah, then when are we? I mean, theoretically it's mitzvah constant. I mean, there has to be an element of focus on tshuva during Rosh Hashanah. Yeah?
Okay, what I'm saying? What do you mean?
Just
Of course,
time, but you know.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah, I like. I don't want that. What time is it now? Probably over. Okay. We'll just finish with this. Tshuva. I say the word tshuva. We discussed, we have a little bit of a reframe, but most people, tshuva, what that means is, I sinned, sorry, charata, do the whole thing. Is Rosh Hashanah a day of tshuva? If you say it has to do with sin, Rosh Hashanah has zero to do. Where do we talk about? We don't do a Shanu Baganu on Rosh Hashanah. Yom Kippur maybe. Rosh Hashanah? Nothing. Right? But there's a mistake. Why with this? I think there's a huge mistake, and we already discussed in the beginning. Tshuva is not just about sin. That's a prat, a detail in tshuva. What's tshuva about? Returning. Getting better maybe, but return to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, return to yourself. Tell me, in Shemona Esrei, I'll make it easy for you. Where do we mention tshuva? Nope. Tell me, Slach Lanu Avinu. That's what everybody would say. Where in the word Slach Lanu do you say tshuva? Slach Lanu Avinu ki chatana macha. Sin. Tshuva is Hashivenu, right before Slach Lanu. Hashivenu Avinu tshuva li Sorasecha. V'karvenu malkenu melech. How? Lavoda secha. In tefillah, in avoda. It's positive. Let me return to you. Any sin? Nothing. Zero. Fine. Rosh Hashanah is Hashivenu. Yom Kippur is Slach Lanu. We can't forget that. How does a person come to Hashivenu Avinu Saraseva Karvinu Makin Lavadosecha in a strong way? When you're Makar Tov for the past year, and you trust in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then all you want is Hashivenu Avinu Saraseva Karvinu Makin Lavadosecha. That's the real Avinu Makinu. We don't say the Avinu Makinu Chatan L'Fanecha on Rosh Hashanah. There is no Avinu Makinu, only Yom Kippur. But if you have Avinu Malkeinu, which is Hashivenu Avinu L'Sarasecha V'Karvenu Malkeinu Lavodosecha, Avinu Malkeinu the right way, with the real way of tshuva, I want to return to Rosh Hashanah, then you'll be prepared for Yom Kippur. But let's do Rosh Hashanah first. Let's do it happy. Let's do it upbeat. Let's do it positive, with an appreciation of what the King has done for us. It'll change your Rosh Hashanah, change your year, change your life. And then you can really trust.